Joe and Shob goes extreme. Welcome to the Joe and Shob, everybody. No, should I not do that one? Not that one?
No, it's too late now.
Oh, it's too late now. Welcome, everybody, to the Joe and Shob show. It is June. Let me check what day it'll be when it's coming. June 9th. And the Joe and Shob show is rolling. We are rolling. It is the summer.
Rolling.
It is the summer cast, like episode 4 or 5 at this point. We are wearing our flippy floppies. We are on the beach. We are making sand castles. And Joe and I are in our beach chairs, and we are talking about wrestling.
Beach
chairs.
Right.
We didn't review Extreme Rules this week like we usually do, where we point our camera at ourselves and go, wow, it was okay, and and talk about wrestling, because we were like, maybe it'd be better if we just talk about it on the podcast. We get more time to talk about it, or we have our thoughts a little bit more fermented. They aren't like as fresh, which I don't think is a bad thing. Sometimes you're a little bit too much in the moment, and you say something is worse than it is, or you say something better than it is. So we'll figure out how we're going to do this, because we don't really know yet. It's kind of nice to have a review out the day after the pay-per-view for you guys to see. So we're going to figure something out. We will be on standby as far as that goes. Someone in the comments, tell us what you prefer. So
we've done, I think a couple of the reviews we've done in the past have been pretty all right, like where we've watched the pay-per-view and then like actually been able to sit down, it's quiet, we can be like, all right, this is our the Fastlane one was sort of like that.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Or like reviews like that. But like I do think some of them are feel a little rushed. I feel like whenever we're sitting here we can dissect it more. But
maybe we call them reactions instead of reviews.
Okay, yeah. Let's just.
That's what they are. It's first impressions, reactions to what happened. So Jinder Mahal wins world champion. We just make a video like Jinder Mahal. We're really excited about this. We'll tell you our full thoughts on the podcast. But right now, I kind of liked it. Like, we can just say that. You know what I'm saying?
And we can sort of. Yeah. I like that. Let's do that.
Sounds good, man.
So we're gonna have,
in case anybody comments a better idea. But
another thing that we just decided right on air.
Hey, we do that pretty often. That shows how prepared we are.
It is pretty often, and we're gonna roll out a couple more changes this week. So we got Stitcher coming up. That's big.
How do you upload on Stitcher? I made an account, but
we're gonna figure it out.
We'll figure it out. I made an account.
We're in the market, I think, at this point for a new logo.
Oh, that's a good idea. I was actually thinking about that too. If you guys have any business inquiries, anybody wants to intern at Joe and Shob, email joeandshab@gmail.com. We are accepting resumes right now, but we could just pay. It's got to be good. We were actually sponsored this week by ResumeWritingSucks.com. Resume writing. I'm totally kidding. There's a podcast I watch, and they're constantly sponsored by ResumeWritingSucks.com. Maybe one day. Maybe.
Hey, this podcast sponsored to you by Audible.
Oh yeah.
Do you like reading?
No, we're not big enough for Audible.
Audible's like a big one.
That's Amazon. Amazon's a big deal.
That's true.
Amazon's
Carfax.
Amazon's going to take over the world. You know that.
What's the one, Christian? CarMax or something?
Oh no, my favorite one is MeUndies. That's all I know. I wear MeUndies while I'm wrestling. I wear MeUndies while I'm on my shows, and they help me, and they also help me, if you know what I mean.
DDP Yoga has all the best workouts.
I don't know if he does the accent during that stuff on purpose. I can't ever tell.
He like said it. He said on one of the podcasts that it was like something he did because like some singer he used to follow like would embellish some words like that.
Yeah.
So he's like, oh, I'm going to do that too.
Okay, well, it does make it interesting because I'm like, what the fuck is he doing? Workout. I'm like, he's Canadian. I didn't think he was that Canadian. Do Canadians even sound like that? Anyways, we had some news this week. We're gonna go here. If you guys want to schedule, you can write it down on a little piece of paper, write it on your phone. It's gonna be news, then it's gonna be Extreme Rules, and then it's gonna be Raw, and then it's gonna be SmackDown. Last week we switched it up a little bit. We're never doing that ever again. It was a big mistake.
I didn't think it was that bad.
No, I was totally kidding.
Yeah. So let's get into some news here. Let's get into some news here.
You're the news guy.
I am the news guy. But,
I'm the noose guy.
You're the I'm sorry to hear that.
I didn't.
All right,
say that.
so news topic number 1 here. So I don't know if you've heard, but YouTube has changed up its ad policy program.
I have heard that. YouTubers like to tell you about that.
Yeah, they do. So
For better or for
basically,
worse. I don't know.
there was a video of a guy who was stabbing police-issued tactical vests with different knives and saying, like, yo, some of these vests are pretty weak. We should, they need to change. And YouTube was like, oh, that's bad. And then a bunch of advertisers said, oh, that's really bad. We're taking our ads completely off YouTube till our ads are no longer on videos like this. And so everyone's being affected by it. Advertisers are spread thin, which means like the excuse me.
You're right.
I'll cut that out.
You're right.
I'll cut that out. So
Okay.
no, I won't. But so advertisers are spread thin, which means that you get less money per video and whatnot. And this has heavily affected actually WCPW, who we've mentioned on the podcast before. They're a unique bunch. We've said good and bad things about them. But basically, yeah, they had to cancel their weekly show, and yeah, it's been putting a strain on everybody. And then they had a free show called Fight Back, which was supposed to be like, jeez, which is supposed to be like a thing fighting back against YouTube's policies, and that got completely removed off YouTube. So that was a bit of a shocker.
That doesn't even have anything to do with advertisements. I think that's just a copyright thing. That's what's just funny.
It's just weird. It's odd timing, and they got a strike for it too, as in like copyright strike.
Oh, and you know what? You can only get 3 of those before your channel's bye-bye.
Nothing in that was really copyrighted, though, I would imagine.
I think it was a computer somewhere, and, there's a lot of people who upload episodes of TV shows or entire TV shows, apparently, and they just put full show or full episode, full match, and I think there are just little, detectors in whatever they're doing to try to find, copyright claimed stuff or stuff to claim, and they just saw full show and like, boom. And I think it's really unfortunate because I really think YouTube and whatever they have going on is way too, it's guilty before you're proven innocent, and that's not how it should be. They will flag you, they will strike you before they even know what's going on, because apparently that's better for the copyright holders. That's better, and I'll make the copyright holders happy because they're like, oh, cool, we know YouTube is taking our stuff off of here for us. And that keeps them out of the water too, because then those companies are gonna get mad at YouTube because they're like, "Hey, my show is everywhere. What is going on?" But it's really hard. There are millions, billions of hours of videos on YouTube. There is so much content. It's not really easy for this company to just be a police for this. But I really think there needs to be a better way, and I think channels should have communication. Channels should know what's going on, and channels should be able to fight back. I did not mean to say
that was really cringy, but hey, you did it.
No, I did. I literally had no plans on doing that. I don't watch WCPW, so I didn't even remember what it was called. But yeah, it needs to be, the channels need to be working directly with YouTube, or else they're gonna leave. And if channels like H3H3, a big YouTube channel, if they go to Twitch, which they're starting to do, they have a thing called the H3H3 show that they stream on Twitch. I don't know how often. God damn it, this has ruined my thunder. If they're gonna leave channels like YouTube, YouTube's losing out, because there are that many people and that many subscribers, millions of people not going on the channel as consistently. And this is affecting something like WCPW, where they're getting their ad revenue off people wanting to watch their matches. And in the past, it's cost money. And that's probably where the most of the revenues come from, is this What Culture Plus or Extra app, where people pay to watch these. But out of the kindness of their heart for this one, they made it free, and YouTube said no. So website kind of sucks. As a user, you wouldn't really be able to tell this stuff, because for the most part, content's still there. And you and I wouldn't call us YouTubers. I mean, we use YouTube, but we're not really like we don't do money. We don't do this for money. So this isn't really something that's on our radar at all. As a user, it's really hard to see this stuff going on. So yeah, to see that this happened is not surprising because it's been so bad lately.
Mm-hmm. I do think it's unfortunate though. Like, WCPW, it's kind of like, I'm not really a big fan of it personally. It doesn't mean other people can't be, and it's definitely unfortunate that it happened because I do think it's unfair.
Yeah, they'll have to for the future not have the show on YouTube, like have the live show, like you go there live, and that's how WCPW exists. Or people on What Culture Extra can watch their pay-per-views, and the pay-per-views are the big things people are watching. Yeah,
I do think though that they wanted to do their live show because YouTube's where they got their start, and yeah, I mean I think that's that's probably why they're really like the platform and having their free weekly show, but it's not happening anymore. So
one thing, and I can't act like I know everything. I don't. But after all this ad stuff happened and all these advertisers are backing out, I'm saying this like right hand to the sky. I felt like I was getting more ads consistently. And I have people who said the same thing, like Tom. Like, I actually felt like I was seeing ads just as much or more, which was interesting. So I don't really know what's going on. I really think people who are putting this content, like, and consistently making content that people are watching, need to get paid. And obviously, advertisers are the best way. But that means in the future, maybe Patreon will have to be the best way, or merchandise will have to be the best way, or going to a different website will have to be the best way. I know certain YouTube channels have gone to like Amazon. Classic Game Room used to have a very big presence on YouTube. He put all this stuff on Amazon. He said he gets views, and that's how he's existing right now. There's a lot of different ways, and it's ebbs and flows. I think YouTube will get back on track because it is the number one video service on the internet. It's not even close, and I really don't see a third party coming to take YouTube's cake anytime soon, unless it's Twitch. But Twitch is not a video service; it's a streaming service. So we'll just have to see how things go.
Well, whenever you have a surplus of advertisers leave, you still have the same amount of ads because monetization's still enabled for you. But
yeah,
the amount of money that advertiser pays YouTube does not change. Therefore, the advertisers spread thin, which means that you just get less money. It's the same amount of ads. There's just not as much. The CPM, which is how much money you get per ad, it just goes down. So it's if you're getting more ads, that's pretty much normal.
Yeah. See, I'm not a genius on that, so I was just like, I'm still in my head as a user, because I'm not looking up and reading all this stuff other than what I just told you. I just see, hey, I'm just as consistently watching ads for this person as I did before. So it's like, in your head, you think maybe things aren't changing.
Yeah,
but some advertisers pay more than others. So
yeah, that's also true.
Yeah.
So what are you gonna do?
But YouTube is the only thing I have to say about this is to maybe be negative for is YouTube has never claimed to be employment, so it's hard to say. It's really hard to say because YouTube is a company for itself first. So if this is best for them and best for the advertisers, that's going to have to happen, because it's not like when you and I, like if we got big on this, which we won't, maybe we will one day, but it's not like we, applied and like signed contracts and all this stuff to have a guaranteed amount of money. It's a very, unpredictable way of employment, and YouTubers know that. So whenever stuff like that happens, it's one of those things where you got to look at it and kind of go, you got to expect this stuff sometimes, because sadly the YouTubers don't control YouTube. It's one of those grassroots things where if things are going to change, they'll really have to pull like an Ethan Klein and like really fight back at it. And I yet again didn't do that on purpose, but it's obviously a very unreliable way of paying the bills. People like James Rolfe at Cinemassacre have said that you don't get health insurance, obviously. And whenever stuff like this happens, it's really a big hit. So having your own website, having your own service, having a Patreon, having merchandise, having a different way of making money, selling a book. I know all that stuff sounds minuscule, but that whenever you're a YouTuber, it's like kind of the one of the things you have to go to. So we'll see how that goes. Because What Culture, I know they have a magazine. I know What Culture has merchandise. I know they have What Culture Extra. So to be a YouTuber, these are things that's going to have to happen.
Yep. So we'll just see where that goes from there.
Yeah.
So what up next here on the news? These are just funny stories. I just think they're funny.
Yeah, so. Big whiplash after that.
We have we have somebody tweeted out a photo of for Monday Night Raw with Samoa Joe staring down with Kurt Angle.
Oh yeah, that moment was awesome.
That person said, "Oh man, this gives me big flashbacks." And Dixie Carter, former president, I think the former president of TNA. I don't think she's even in the company anymore. Replied and said, "Me too." Oh, poor
that's
Dixie.
really funny. To speak about that feud, though, wow, that should happen. I saw them stare down, and I'm like, there's instant heat right here, and I like it.
Yeah, I think I saw a couple weeks ago that like out of all the new people that Kurt Angle could face, I'd like to see that the most. Like as a break-in, Yeah,
that'd be exciting. And they've fought before, so it's not like they, if Kurt has any ring rust, I'm sure fighting somebody or wrestling somebody he has experience with would only benefit. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. So yeah,
I can't wait to see him wrestle again.
TNA officials have said that the reason that Jinder Mahal is WWE champion and all that, as far as they can conclude, the reason that he's the WWE champion and everything is because Impact was doing tapings in India like 2 weeks later, and that's the only reason. And that is the reason.
Impact was doing tapings 2 weeks after Jinder became champ.
Yes.
What does that have to do with TNA?
So they said WWE. They think that WWE was like, oh, we're gonna undercut them.
Oh, because they didn't want TNA to be as big of a deal because they were doing stuff in India.
Yeah.
Oh well.
I think it's ridiculous.
I think TNA is like a joke, and I don't care. I mean, like, I'm not saying I don't care about the story. I'm just like, I literally don't care about the company. I don't watch anything from them, and for hear them say that's like, oh, okay. Like WWE is like a human, and TNA is like a little bug where you go, oh shit, there's a bug, and you squash it real quick, and then for some reason the bug keeps coming back as a different bug, and like annoys you sometimes, but never ever poses a threat. Like you just keep like you stomp it until it comes back later, and then you see another bug and you stomp it. I'm not saying that I stomp bugs. I love bugs.
What?
I don't know.
But yeah, I just thought it was funny and stupid.
Yeah, it is stupid. TNA, they know it. They definitely are staying in their lane. That was a joke, and they're not doing that.
Nope. All right, so let's get to some Extreme Rules.
All right. I thought the rules were a little bit too extreme on this pay-per-view. What do you think?
I thought the opposite.
Oh no, they were really bad.
There was no extreme at all in this entire pay-per-view. There was no extreme rules. There was barely any like weapons, I felt like, and the steel cage was probably the most extreme match of the night, to be honest with you. And the Fatal 5-Way was supposed to be an extreme match. I didn't feel like it was that extreme either.
There was the steel steps once, and there was a table spot, but those could have happened in not Extreme Rules Fatal 5-Ways because there's no DQ anyways, so it could have been used. Extreme Rules was literally just 2 words added on because it was the Extreme Rules pay-per-view.
Yeah, pretty much.
Gimmick pay-per-views like this are dumb because then they have to force things, and then you have a kendo stick on a pole match instead of a normal one-on-one match. And it really screws things up, especially when the refs most of the night don't know how the matches go. Apparently, there was a lot of very weird officiating, and I agree to an extent.
Yeah, the kendo stick on a pole match, I remember people being confused because they said the first person who grabbed it would be legally allowed to use it.
And that'd be the only person legally allowed to use it?
I guess implying that.
Okay, yeah, well, the match happened. Bailey took it and didn't really do anything with it, and then Alexa wins. And wow, this match is pretty bad. Yeah, especially when you got 2 people who obviously know how to wrestle. So
We'll talk about that match first because I feel like it's the biggest.
Oh, I think
it's
it is one to take away. Definitely is like
yeah.
as far as negatives go. Definitely. God damn it.
Wow. Yeah. So this match was a little over 5 minutes.
Yeah, you weren't looking at the screen, and then I said, "Oh, Joe, the match just ended," and you had Bailey, so you were like, "What?"
Yeah, I didn't expect this, and
I don't know how you could. It was bad. It was really bad. You wouldn't expect one of WWE's biggest stars to be treated so really badly.
She barely got any offense in. She didn't hit Alexa with the kendo stick. She was hesitating with it. It was just stupid. And I was watching. I'm like, oh, she didn't hit her with the kendo stick. Oh, she hesitated. She'll probably do it by the end. It never happened, and that feud's over. So Bailey looks like a chump.
Yeah, I guess the story is she doesn't know how to be extreme. Oh, I just got scared so badly. She doesn't know how to be extreme, but
this is someone who I'm going to steal a line from one of the What Culture guys here because I thought it was a good line. Is someone who's done like a reverse Frankensteiner to Sasha Banks off the top rope, and she's afraid of hitting somebody with a kendo stick.
Yeah, I don't know. She's not afraid to take the bumps, so why can't she give the bumps? And she took the kendo stick. She took the kendo stick.
Yeah,
you could see the imprints on her back.
It doesn't help that she's in the field of wrestling where you're supposed to not look like a wimp.
Yeah, especially as she's supposed to be like the next John Cena. Like as far as women go, like the really lovable person. Like everyone likes her. But she didn't do that here, and I'll tell you that.
No, and now we have Sasha Banks and Bailey pretty much down the card.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things where they'll definitely come back. But as far as right now, it's like, why are you doing
what
this?
Is happening?
Raw, as far as women goes, feels like what? If Alexa Bliss and Nia Jax, I guess Emma's injured.
It was so good.
I'm not counting Dana Brooke. Holy shit! Oh, it was really good a few weeks ago.
After Payback with the women's ascension thing or whatever, where Alexa was on the that little pedestal above everyone else. And
yeah, that was
feuds with everyone.
That was great.
Remember she set up. Yeah, that was awesome. And look where we are now.
Hey, one thing to spark it, and I know it's a really cheap way to make heat, and it's a cheap way to change things, is to turn people heel. But Sasha Banks' character is being the boss and being, whatever. Who is a boss but is like a nice person? Like if you're going to be a boss, you should be a bad person. So why isn't Sasha Banks heel? She should have turned heel on Bailey, and then Bailey could overcome in the end and finally come back. I think that is the way that you elevate both of them.
People talk about Roman Reigns and how he needs to turn heel so bad. People want to talk about how Sasha Banks needs to turn heel. That's that is the one that really needs to happen, in my opinion. That is number one heel turn. That needs to happen.
Yeah, but it needed to happen so long ago.
Yeah.
You could have had it happen and have Alexa not come to Raw, but now Alexa's at Raw, and now I can't see anybody taking it from her for a very long time because you would have to elevate them first for them to be believable as champion, and no one's even believable, even close to what Alexa's doing right now. And Alexa had a really bad match and a really bad segment, so she's not been doing very great lately, even herself, and I like Alexa Bliss a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But that was that match. I mean, I like Bailey, but I like Alexa Bliss more, so I can't say that I hated that Alexa Bliss won, but I also hated that Bailey looked so stupid.
Yeah, it's just really underwhelming, and I don't understand why they did it. I really just don't understand it.
I think that this is just so things can come back, and like I said, ebbs and flows, but wow, why did you have to do it? Why so badly?
Mm-hmm.
But we'll just have to see. Obviously, Bailey's going to have another big moment. She, came into WrestleMania as champion and left WrestleMania as champion. But that feels like a very long time ago. And guess what? It was only 63 days ago. So, wow. Or 65 if you're watching this the day it comes out. So, not very long ago was she actually doing things, coming out as champion at WrestleMania, which is, by the way, a big deal. And it's a big deal to also come out of your title match as champion. But to lose the next two and the first match was good, but the second match in a very humiliating fashion, and then to look terrible in a segment that was one of the worst of the year, Kurt Angle said on air. So Pretty bad.
Love that.
Pretty
I
bad.
love that.
Oh yeah, I love that they were honest about it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but yeah, yeah. Hey, women's Money in the Bank. I'm excited for it.
That is a much better way to handle the women. It does feel like them just clustering everybody into one, but
Hey,
that's how Money in the Bank is.
Now we have like an actual like, but I don't know. Money in the Bank's different because it actually the prize is a big deal. It's a very big deal. So.
Yeah, the prize will be good, and Naomi desperately needs to not be champion, but we can talk about that later.
Yeah, we'll get there. Because we have a lot of women's stuff happened this week, I think.
Yeah.
All right. So when we got Dean Ambrose versus The Miz Intercontinental Championship. If the Miz or if Dean gets disqualified, he loses.
I think this stipulation was really stupid. I wasn't a fan of it. Were you?
No, I wasn't. But I understand. I think they did it because to like get The Miz some heat, because people would be like, "Oh, The Miz, The Miz, come on, man! It's Extreme Rules, and you're gonna choose that stipulation." But they didn't really get across that he chose it. I think in a backstage segment, Kurt Angle was like, "All right, you get your rematch," and then I don't know where that's actually I don't know where that stipulation came from, but it could have used. They could have done what like the Hardys did, where the winner of this match gets to choose the stipulation. And The Miz wins, and he's like, "I want to choose this one." And it'd be like, "Oh, come on, it's Extreme Rules, and you're gonna, deprive the crowd of a fun weapons match for something like this." But yeah, I don't know.
I think the stipulation just revealed the finish, and I think it was the most believable way to have Miz win. So that's why they went with it, because they're like, "We want Miz to be IC champion. Right. We don't want him to win clean. This is a really easy way to make him win clean and not make Dean look terrible." It made for a really good match because there was psychology, there was a storyline built into it because Miz had to win, was trying to win in a different way, and he tried a lot of stuff. And
very fun match, very fun match.
I caught it like probably a fourth of the way through, but it was really good. I wasn't when I watched it, I wasn't the biggest fan of the finish because I thought it made Dean look a little stupid, but it's Miz is a heel, so that's what you're going to do. It was a little bit weird with the officiating, though, because it's not like what happens in the match is Maurice slaps the Miz, and the Miz is trying to get a DQ off of Dean Ambrose. So Dean Ambrose is looking at the ref, and the ref's outside the ring, and the ring's like the ref is like. I said the ring. The ref's like trying to go over to where the bell is to be like, "Oh, I'm going to end the match." But he's like walking over there, and Dean's like, "No, don't walk over there. You don't have to walk over to the bell to end a match."
Yeah.
That's not a thing.
Whenever I watched this, I thought it was like, oh, the ref is like thinking about it. He's thinking about it. And Dean's like, "Oh, no, don't do it." But I heard a couple people say like, "No, I think he was trying to, like he was going to ring the bell."
I guess.
In which case,
I thought he was going over to talk to the bell guy. I don't know. It was weird.
I thought he was thinking about it. Like that was what I took from it. But it makes sense. Like I could see it either way. I think the way where he was like 50-50 thinking about it, I think that one makes a little more sense in context for what actually went down. But yeah, it was a little wonky, but the right result happened. And Miz is the new Intercontinental Champion.
I don't know. I remember hearing like a podcast between wrestlers, and they were like, one of my least favorite things is you never turn your back on another wrestler. Because you're making them look dumb, and you make yourself look dumb. And Dean just looked stupid because I knew the minute he turned around, it was skull crushing finale, and then 1, 2, 3, and it was from that point a little bit like. It was a good finish as far as the stipulation went, but I thought it made Dean look a little bit dumb. But, he's a heel. He's going to make him look dumb. But, I can't escape these thoughts.
Brock Lesnar's done it before and made him look even dumber. So,
oh, that's good. That's really good.
Yep. Good comparison.
Good comparison, yeah. Brock Lesnar to the Miz and Dean Ambrose. But, it was still a really good match. Made for a good match. I'm definitely okay with Miz being IC champ. He's obviously a great IC champ. It always feels like whenever he's IC champ, like he is the person who should be IC champ. People have good reigns. People will have good reigns in between them, but no one has a Miz reign where it feels special.
Like it's his world title, you know?
Yeah, it's his world title. He's the 7-time IC champion. He doesn't have as far as combined reigns go, he's not one of the winningest. Winningest is a word, I promise. It actually is. He's not one of the winningest IC champions as far as combined reigns go, but as far as winning it, he's number 2. So that's pretty impressive for a guy who was a reality star before a wrestler. So props to the Miz. Props to Mike Mizanin. He's really good at what he does.
Listen to Fantasy Booking last week on Picks of the Week, and you get a little sequel to where I think this could go.
You get a little funny stuff from Karsten. Oh God, fuck.
Yeah. I just fucked myself.
Shob.
Oh, he said his real name again.
No, I didn't. Delete it.
Yeah. I thought it was fun overall. You know, whatever.
Yeah. Great. Great match. Great way to start the pay-per-view. They keep starting the pay-per-views with matches I want to see, which I know that's what they're supposed to do. You're supposed to start it off with a bang. But God, I missed a little bit of it. So we had the
show up early.
Yeah, I have things I'm doing. So we had the mixed tag match next, and I didn't care that much about it. I didn't watch any of the setup for it because it was on 205 Live, and that's not something I watch.
You're not the only one.
I'm not the only one. So whatever, I didn't watch the setup for it. Some of it was on Raw, but hey, I got to watch Rich Swann in a pay-per-view win a match. That doesn't happen, and he hasn't even been on a pay-per-view since Royal Rumble.
Really? Royal Rumble?
Yeah, I think. Or Fastlane.
Yeah, I guess. What did he do at Fast? I don't know. Yeah,
I really like Rich Swann, but it feels like ever since he lost the Cruiserweight title, and I knew it was going to happen, he wouldn't be anywhere. Because as far as Cruiserweights go, if you're not champion and you lost it, like you are not anything. Brian Kendrick is nothing. TJP is a little bit more than what he was, but still nothing. And Rich Swann hasn't been much. It's just how it goes because you won it and someone else is next in line and you're the past. So
that's why I would prefer if it was sort of more broad than that. Like Cruiserweights could compete with heavyweights because then they wouldn't just be stuck in limbo.
Originally, I was against that because I was like, "Oh, let them figure it out. They can do this." But now I feel like there should be a little bit of mix. And there was a mix here. It was with the women, not the men, but good all the same. Technically, it wasn't a cruiserweight match because they didn't turn the ropes purple.
That's true.
They didn't do any of the purple stuff that they did. So it technically wasn't a cruiserweight match.
Yeah, hey, that's true.
That definitely matters, right?
I don't know.
Yeah, it totally matters. It matters a lot.
But yeah, you know what? It was a good match. I wasn't like, oh yeah, it was, you know, it was fun. You know, hey, Noam Dar.
I had no reaction to it. I was happy to see Sasha do something because she lost, and Sasha's somebody who should be doing stuff because he's Sasha Banks. But you know, whatever.
Noam Dar Sasha Banks hit a knee thing on Noam Dar. That was cool.
Yeah. I don't remember that. But you know, whatever. I watched the match, but apparently not very much, very, very well.
It wasn't long.
It definitely wasn't a match that, you know, it's not the match of the night, and it's not even close. But it was fine. It was one of those that were not bad, not good, just kind of whatever. You know, you're not going to remember very well. But the next match was very good, and in my opinion, I liked it. The result is what I predicted too, because Joe sucks at predictions, and I beat him because I'm the best. Cesaro and Sheamus against the Hardys. You like this match?
I loved it. Yeah, it was really, really good. I love the ending too, with the where it was like, you know, it was getting a little close. It was down to the wire.
Yeah, they were really trying to make it intense at the end, which I like. It was a little bit weird because it was a little bit confusing as to, do both of them need to escape? If Jeff comes back in, does he need to escape again? That was a little bit weird as far as officiating goes, but he did a whisper in the wind off the top, and that was really cool. People can say, as far as psychology goes, why did Jeff come back in? Why didn't Matt Hardy let one of them go out so it could be one-on-one instead of both of them? You know, there's a bunch of weird stuff as far as that goes, as far as like, why did this person do that? Because it makes them look dumb. But I watched it, and if you don't delve into it that much, it was a good watch, and they had a very exciting end. I enjoyed it, and as far as the results go, we're going to see how it goes. But Cesaro and Sheamus are champions. I think they are very good as far as being the bar in the Raw tag team division. They are the bar. And I think the Hardys will do fine without being champions because if they were champions or not, I think them being there is still a big deal. So we'll just have to see how it goes.
Yeah, I don't know what they're gonna do with the Hardys now. I'm guessing they'll get another match or two and whatever, but they didn't need to stay champs too long.
Yeah, I think this is the slow burn, the slow rise to the broken universe.
Yeah, that's true. That could be true.
It's very interesting because they actually 10 years exactly won the titles and lost the titles in the same exact days in 2007.
Yeah, I saw that.
That was really interesting. It was probably completely not planned, but apparently ESPN of all places noticed. I don't like ESPN. They're really bad with news. They're really, really bad with news. But apparently they care about wrestling, and they were like, "Oh, the Hardys did this." So that's the best thing they've ever done.
Something like that, yeah.
I was kidding. But very interesting. But we're going to have to see if this is... Because if they don't become broken in the next few months, they'll be interlopers. Interlopers? What? They're going to be just kind of hanging in the balance because that is, honestly... Their return will be defined by if they become broken or not, because that is what people want from them. And it's best entertainment to give people what they want, because the Hardys are interesting, but eventually Team Extreme and the Hardys as champions and tag team, they split off because you run out of steam eventually, and this reunion tour will end. And I think being broken is what they need. And I think WWE with the budget they got and the writers they got, they can do something with it. So I really hope they win this lawsuit. Maybe they did already. We don't know.
Yeah. I'm hoping they did too. But yeah, it's what was I was gonna talk about this match a little bit. I did think the rules were a little wonky, and because don't you think it would make more sense though to lure one of them out so you can do like a 1v2 scenario and then just completely destroy the one guy, and then the both of you can just come out on pretty much on top.
Imagine if it was the Hardys, and then they let Sheamus go, and it's just, or they let Cesaro go or whatever, and it was 2-on-1, and Jeff did a whisper in the wind and knocked one of them out, and then they two just got in before he climbed in to get him. Matt just pulls Jeff out because he's knocked out from the whisper in the wind, but Cesaro was also knocked on the ground and can't leave, and the other guy's already out of the ring, and they win that way. They just pulls him out real quick. That'd have been interesting. But what they did was a little wonky, but still fun to watch. The finish, we were on the edge of our seat, oh, go, 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 go.
Yeah. Because, you could just, Jeff escapes. You could just do a 1v2 with Matt and just completely demolish him. And then you would win, I don't know.
Yeah.
It was a little weird.
It was wonky, but, it wasn't the end of the wonk for the night, but it wasn't terrible. It was a really good match as far as I think. Was this a short pay-per-view? There weren't very many matches.
I think it was normal length.
It was normal length, but it only had 6 matches. Interesting.
I don't know.
The main event was 29 minutes, so.
I don't know. I didn't notice anything really.
Yeah, well, whatever. So we got Neville versus Austin Aries, the last, and what I assume is the last match in their trilogy of matches, which began at WrestleMania? Or did
it began at WrestleMania. And then Payback.
They have been elevating the Cruiserweight title. They've been elevating the Cruiserweight division, but I think they're the only two really doing that. So I think overall the Cruiserweight division still hasn't... No one watches their show, and even with them putting on 4-star matches, no one's still watching. But hey, at least they're putting on good matches, and this was a good match. I liked it. There was psychology. There was, his back's hurt, so I'm going to use my finisher on his back to win the match and use a submission. You like the match?
Yeah, I thought it was good. It wasn't the result I was expecting, so I was like, Neville won. I thought that was cool. Austin Aries was he tweeted about getting a character change or something, or I think he might go to the main roster that isn't not the Cruiserweight division. I'd like to see that. I like Austin Aries. I think Neville is really the one who's really like trying to get the cruiserweight division some legs.
I think he is not even trying to be cringy or make a joke. He is like the king of it, and he is really trying to lead a charge to make it something. And I think he has the mentality where if this ship is sinking, he is going until he drowns. Like, he will keep going, because without him, like, who else is going to hold on their back? TJ Perkins was not the guy to do that, and he didn't do shit for it.
Right. And Jack Gallagher, I think, was doing pretty well. Like, him and Neville had the best match at Fastlane.
Well, that was a great match.
So, I don't know. Well, we'll see.
I think he's done great things, so at least there's that. But I still won't watch 205 Live. I just watch whatever they put me on the pay-per-view. So, whatever. It's just what I accept. You accept it too. Like, we don't watch it. You watch the recaps, but still a good match.
Sometimes.
Yeah, as far as when I said wonky, I didn't know this going in, so when I watched, I didn't notice, but I did think it was weird. I'm like, why is he trying to do a submission to him on the outside? If you can't win on the outside, like, what is even the point? That was a little bit dumb. But I guess he was just trying to even like begin it and then bring it back in. But also the ref was counting out for a submission match there's no countouts in a submission match. So I just think the ref was like, well, this is a normal match. Someone just has to win by submission. So I'm still going to count out. I don't know. But apparently that's a rule. And I think it's weird that the ref doesn't know what the rules are.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know.
I didn't have a huge problem with it, obviously.
Yeah, it wasn't like a huge problem, but it was definitely. It definitely could have been avoided. We should know the rules. So.
They should know the rules too. Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's what I meant. Like, we as in like the people watching. Like, it's not like we know what the rules of the submission match were. You know what I mean?
We should know the rules just as well as the refs do, in my opinion.
Right.
Only because
that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
They will use the rules as storylines, as with like the Miz stuff, and you need to know what's going on with the rules, or else you're going to be left confused when something happens.
Right.
So, yeah, why are there countouts in a submission match? They could have spent more time outside, but they're like, hey, the ref's counting out. Okay, I guess we have to get in, because how are we going to tell the ref to not do that? Because that's not a thing. Like, I think that affects the wrestlers too.
Right. Well, I don't know. I don't know where Neville goes from here. I'm thinking maybe he'll face Cedric Alexander.
That'd be a fun feud.
That'd be fun.
Do you see anybody ever in 2017 taking this from him?
I think it'll happen. I think
Austin Aries would have been the one, because I don't really think anybody is nearly as formidable as Neville on the roster. But apparently, it's not for Austin Aries. They wanted to keep the king.
Neville is doing so well right now, and I think they should, really have him have a really great reign with it. And then, you know what? Maybe put him in mid card, upper mid card even of Raw, and see how he does. I think he could excel so much there.
I think I'm going to go with what you said months ago, like near when we started the show. There should be intermixing, and I think Neville should be able to have matches and have feuds and do stuff on the main roster, because he is really cemented. And if he has a feud with somebody in the mid card, like in the main roster, without having to face another cruiserweight, like, that'd be great. And if he's holding this title around, and if he still shows up on 205 Live, but he's doing stuff on Raw with people, it'll make him even more sought after, and also it'll really like cement a feud even more. Yeah, I think it's a good idea at this point, because he's just so good and he's just so far ahead, and that I think they shouldn't waste it. And I think they have been wasting it, because I don't watch 205 Live, and if they really were handling it well enough, and if they really were, firing all cylinders as far as cruiserweights go, I would watch it, because I like wrestling, but I don't watch 205 Live. I don't know. They don't advertise matches well enough on it. They don't really hype up things well enough on it. Like, if they...
We don't know anyone. Like, we don't know any other characters.
Why wasn't there a cruiserweight title match between Austin Aries and Neville on 205 Live? I would have watched it.
I don't know. That actually is a good point. I would have liked to see that too.
That would have got viewers for their show.
Well, like, somebody said I just read. I don't remember where I read it, but somebody said like, hey, whenever Neville's cruiserweight title's over, put him in top of Raw, see how he does. And I was like, yeah, no, we can't have Neville in the top of Raw. But then I thought about it for like 5 more seconds, and I'm like, wait a minute, why not? Like he's been so good. Why would you not, put him in, in a good spot like that?
I think there was a time when they had those plans, but those plans are so far back now.
Yeah, I think his character was kind of one-dimensional.
Oh, I think he's exactly where he needs to be right now. Like he could kind of do a Kevin Owens versus John Cena thing where, Kevin Owens had the NXT title and,
Ooh.
John Cena can't, I'm not saying against John Cena, but John Cena can't, have a feud for the NXT title. But that is just his way of saying, hey, look, I'm a big deal where my parts are from and you need to take my part seriously. Because obviously I'm a big deal. So he could hold the title and have like mid-card feuds against Titus O'Neil, I'm sorry, but you know what I mean. I think they could do more of this. Anyways, Apparently I forgot we were still reviewing Extreme Rules. This is going to be the longest podcast ever.
It's fine.
So how about that Fatal 5-Way?
It was fun.
I was very surprised. I predicted correctly. Not very surprised, but... I don't know. I'm glad they're doing things with Samoa Joe because I think it's hard to deny that he's one of the best wrestlers in the WWE. And it was time you did something with him.
He didn't do anything before that. Like he hasn't lost. He's been winning a good bit, but he never won anything big. I think we talked about that last week too, with like the Chris Jericho thing with the count out the win and stuff like that. But like he's never won anything big. This is like his first big win. So it's a big deal.
I don't think anyone's going to deny that Brock Lesnar versus Samoa Joe in the main event for a title is gonna be like a star-studded match. And I think this was like a very good decision because if this is kind of just like a holdover for the summer kind of match, why not just go and do it? Because I'm excited. This is like 2 huge guys, and I mean that in both ways, having a match against each other, and they're going to come to blows. And already with the feud, as far as what will happen on Raw this week with Paul Heyman, like stuff's going to happen. Like this is going to be exciting. Samoa Joe is obviously very good at wrestling. Brock Lesnar is obviously a beast, and this is going to be a fun match to watch. I think this was the good decision. I don't think Samoa Joe is going to win it. I would love to see him win it. But I just don't think it's in the cards yet. They got SummerSlam. They could have a main event of SummerSlam with Brock Lesnar advertised, and that'll sell. And people will watch, people will go. So I don't think they'll give that up. But if they had like a 30-minute main event at Great Balls of Fire, who's going to deny that?
Yeah. Hey, you know what? Samoa Joe could win. Oh, excuse me.
Oh, man.
I don't think it would be clean, but you know what? No one said that Goldberg would beat Brock Lesnar. So, hey.
Yeah, I was very surprised they beat him in Survivor Series. By the way.
So, hey, they could do it here.
But this was a very good match. There's a lot of stuff going on. It's one of those, there's a lot of people in it, kind of spot fests, but it was still very enjoyable. I think everyone got their time to shine, and Samoa Joe kind of stole it. It was Finn Balor's match to win, and then Samoa Joe comes out of nowhere, coquina clutch, and he wins, and makes Finn Balor, what do they call it? Lose breath. What do they call it?
Pass out.
That one, Joe.
Yeah.
Pass out.
Exciting match.
I was surprised Bray Wyatt wasn't the fall guy. I knew Seth and Roman wouldn't be, but Finn was. So around a year ago, they were going to make him the first Universal Champion, and now he's the fall guy for a Fatal 5-Way. So we're going to see where he goes.
It was his match to win, so I don't think he's that hurt by it.
Yeah. It's also a lot ballsier when you don't tap out and you pass out, because that's your way of saying, hey, I might be in this. I'm already caught in it, but I'm not giving up. That's kind of what Stone Cold did at WrestleMania 13. He did not tap out to the sharpshooter. He stuck in it, bloody face and all, and stayed in it and endured until he couldn't anymore. And I know it's fake wrestling stuff, but that's a way of showing a character and a way of saying that this character, has a little bit of balls to him. I mean, Seth Rollins did it this week, so
Samoa Joe and the Coquina Clutch, the people he's facing and all that, we're not going to see a whole lot of tapping out from people. It's mostly going to be like passing out. Like, he did that to Seth Rollins a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Finn. He did it to Paul Heyman,
Yeah, I guess they're not like going for the tap out kind of thing on that. But whatever. It was a very good pay-per-view. Not very good, but it was good. Weird officiating, but it was simple. There were simple matches. There was one really bad match, and the rest of it was enjoyable from an outsider and insider standpoint. Nothing was burning the house down other than the main event, but a lot to enjoy. I think at least.
I was pleasantly surprised.
Pleasantly surprised, yeah. It was an enjoyable night beginning to end for the most part. What's going on with Bayley? We'll just have to figure that out. Dumb matches, dumb stipulations. The second longest match of the night was the IC title match, so that's good to see. But good, surprisingly good pay-per-view. So how about Raw the next night?
I actually liked Raw.
Yeah, I liked it too. I think they've been putting on good main events, like very good main events.
Yeah. So it opened. We got Bray Wyatt versus Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns
wins.
Beats Bray Wyatt. So let's take this back though. I want to discuss this for a second. So we have the last month of Raw. Roman's already beaten Bray Wyatt, Finn, and Seth clean in matches. So, like, what are you gonna do with Roman? And from now until you just gave away like 3 wins. Like, I think suspense is a little bit hurt for all 3 of those guys.
Yeah, I think. It's not. I was watching the highlights for this, and then I was like, "Oh, cool! Roman Reigns versus Bray Wyatt. I know who's gonna win." It was just so boring, and I like Roman Reigns. He has a few. As far as his spots goes, they're kind of exciting. I don't love him, and it's just too expected at this point that I know he's gonna win. So he's kind of a boring character. Everyone hates him. I don't hate him. I just think he's boring.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong. Like Finn was the fall guy, right? And he lost to Roman a couple weeks ago, but he still got one of the loudest reactions of the night at Extreme Rules. So there's nothing wrong with losing. Like if Roman lost, like when Roman lost to Finn, I don't know. It made me like appreciate him a little bit more. Or whenever he lost to Seth or Money in the Bank, it was just. Or when he lost to Braun Strowman, even.
All that means is that this character has an uphill climb, and that one day he'll get there again. And that's a good thing. I don't think that's a bad thing. Dean Ambrose had a losing streak on pay-per-views, and you know what? While it's happening, you're pissed. You're like, what are they doing with Dean Ambrose? But there eventually comes a time where the Phoenix rises back up. I don't know why I'm talking about a Phoenix, but hey, a year later, he is cashing his Money in the Bank against Seth Rollins, and he is on fire as far as starting the SmackDown brand. So, losses can be at the end of the world in the short sight, if you're talking short sight. But if you're only winning, it's kind of boring. I mean, Goldberg got kind of boring when he wins every single week. Actually, people in the late 90s probably disagree because a lot of people said it was a bad idea for him to lose his winning streak. I don't think anybody says it was bad for him to lose his winning streak, just the way he did, because it was pretty bad the way he did.
Lost it to DDP.
It shouldn't have lost it to Kevin Nash in the way he did. God damn it, jeez. But it's kind of boring. It's just like he starts a match, he wins, and then it's over. And I mean, there's obviously it's like a good match, but as far as feuds go, like the only person that you could see him having trouble against is Brock Lesnar. And guess what? They already had a main event at WrestleMania and he lost. So why wouldn't they make him lose again? And now it just makes me think that they're building this up for him versus Brock and that Reigns will win. And I guess as a fan, the way I am, I'm so not interested in Roman Reigns that I don't want to not care about the main event at WrestleMania. But if that's what they're leading to, I'm going to be less interested. And it's hard to say that, but Roman Reigns is just boring. I don't hate Roman Reigns. Like if he comes out, I wouldn't viciously boo him. I would just kind of be like, oh, look, it's Roman Reigns. Seth comes out, I go, yeah, Seth. Miz comes out, I boo him, and it's fun. And I enjoy booing him because I know that guy's doing a great job. I don't know what reaction Roman Reigns wants to get. I don't know what WWE wants to get from Roman. He's just a guy who wins a lot.
Yeah, I don't understand how you can build someone who's sympathetic and all that whenever they're winning all the time. Like this guy has been pinned, I think, by four. He's been pinned 4 times in 2017 so far.
They rarely ever have him look dumb.
In one-on-one matches.
How many times?
Pinned 4 times. 4 times.
And were they? How many were clean?
0.
Or no, Braun Strowman was clean.
Sorta. He came in and he was hurt. Remember?
Oh, okay. Yeah, I guess.
Well, yeah. Okay, fine. One.
I think at the Fastlane loss, they had him like basically win clean at a Payback. I would say that was clean, other than him being injured, I guess. But yeah.
It's I don't know. I don't like it. You see a guy like Finn and people love him. And he loses, and you see people like Seth, people love him, and he loses. Like Roman is just, they're just throwing everything at Roman, and it's just not working because they're just throwing everything at him. They're not. People want to see something new. People aren't going to cheer him and be into him just because he beat the Undertaker at WrestleMania 33 and wrestled his last match. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, as a Seth fan, like I know it's not the end of the world when he loses. Like he'll get a win, he'll get a loss there, But it's hard to build an interesting person when it's constantly winning. And it's not even like one of those things where you can say like you can have the interesting way of saying like, oh, is he going to win again and again and again? Like the way you're interested is seeing if he wins again. But it's just too predictable now to know that he's going to win. So it's not even exciting to be like, oh yeah, maybe he'll win. Like, who cares?
I think we might be getting a Roman and Finn feud coming up, though, because Finn wasn't on Raw, and Roman faced Bray, who Bray, I guess, is going to feud with Seth now. So I think we might get that.
Yeah, that was fun. So what else happened on Raw? We talked about Samoa Joe, Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins. We talked about
Samoa Joe, and Paul Heyman had a little thing. I thought this was cool.
Yeah, it was
Samoa
cool.
Joe is basically like, yo, you know what? I'm jealous of Brock Lesnar. He's where I want to be. I aspire to be someone like him. I want Paul Heyman. I want, all to only show up 4 times a year. Like that. That's what I aspire to be. And then, Paul Heyman came out. It was like, I said Finn Balor was, my most interesting scenario, but you're the worst case scenario. And it's like, oh no. And then, Samoa Joe is like, oh, I want you to deliver a message to him. And then put him in the coquina clutch. And then Brock Lesnar was called, or they did this thing where Paul called Brock.
He got a call from Brock, and it just said in all caps, Brock.
Or I think either he called Brock or he got a call from Brock.
It was hilarious.
Like on his contact on his phone, it's like capital all caps Brock.
Yeah, it was great.
It's funny, and he's like, "Oh, you need to come to Raw next week." So I'm curious to see what we see.
Yeah, I actually think this feud will be interesting. I think this was, for the time of the year that it is, the best decision they could have gone with.
That's true.
If this was February and we were building to WrestleMania and that Fatal 5-Way like this, I'd have been like, oh, maybe Finn, maybe Seth, but
right. I would have gone with Samoa Joe or Bray Wyatt, but I think Samoa Joe is a more exciting match.
Yeah, as far as like big, just primal, like beat 'em up guys, like they want to beat each other up. Yeah.
We also haven't seen Samoa Joe do anything that important yet, so this is like a good breakthrough for him.
Yeah,
we've seen Bray Wyatt, get to the top and then lose.
Yeah, so
yeah,
but yeah, we'll mention that. So what else happened on Raw?
Oh,
the celebration. Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. Big Cass was laid out. So what do you think? Who do you think attacked him?
I'm gonna guess it was a Revival because I'd be honest.
It's a little obvious.
Who else would it be? It would have been interesting maybe if Big Cass had something to do with Enzo being attacked, but obviously he didn't now because he got attacked too.
What if he attacked himself?
The way you said that. What if he attacked himself?
Wait, what if he did? That'd be a good twist.
I couldn't tell if you were being serious.
That'd be a good twist.
Okay. I hope he didn't attack himself. That'd be dumb.
Yeah.
I want the footage of him like setting up how he fell over and like putting all the stuff down,
doing his like jumping elbow on himself.
The Empire elbow. Come on, you don't know Cass's moves.
The Empire elbow. Okay. I'll write that down. I'll never forget it.
You know,
I will never.
I'm usually the guy who never knows.
I will never forget it. I will never forget the Empire Elbow.
See, the way you remember it is because they're from New York and Empire State Building.
The Brooklyn Elbow, my favorite.
I will never forget that Carmella is the Princess of Staten Island because she said it this week. Really annoying.
Yep.
Anyways, we had women's stuff happen this week. Nia Jax versus Alexa Bliss. I actually thought on paper maybe they wanted to just kind of pull a complete 180 and have Nia Jax be champ. And I was like, no, please don't do that. Please don't do that. I think Nia Jax is so boring. Obviously, she's a big girl and she's like a different size than everybody else on the roster as far as the women go. But God, she's just so
bland.
Yes. There is nothing exciting about her being champion. I think it's exciting to see Alexa be champion. I like to see the different ways she comes out and winning. And it's a little bit boring with Nia. You know, she's big. You know, all she has to do is her little drop move, and she wins and gets a pin against the champion when she used to do it against Bayley all the time. I don't know. I feel like she should have been champion already as far as her size goes, but I'm glad she's not.
I wouldn't be surprised if they gave it to Nia because of the bad "This Is Your Life" segment and then the bad match at Extreme Rules.
Yeah, but I don't even think it's entirely Alexa's fault because they're not the ones writing it.
Yeah, but they might blame her anyway.
Yeah, that'd be really stupid. I really hope that doesn't happen.
Yeah. So,
but God, Nia being champion would be so boring. Maybe she could surprise us because a lot of people behind the scenes like Nia Jax a lot. Like I know Edge and Christian love Nia Jax. A lot of people like Nia Jax as far as the people on the inside, but we're on the outside. And I think she is boring and boring. Yeah, that's the right word for it.
If these two are in a feud, are they still gonna like post pictures together all the time?
Oh yeah, they're best friends in real life, so that's interesting.
I get annoyed by that sometimes.
Yeah, a little bit too much of it's a little annoying. Like Finn and Seth in the hospital together, that was like, oh, look at them.
Well, then they kind of worked it into a storyline in the WWE 24 thing.
Yeah.
But like, if Alexa and Nia are literally feuding against each other and they're like posting selfies, like, hey, what's up? It's like, okay, you don't have to post that, you know. Like you know what you do for a living, like. And
Alexa stays in kayfabe on her Instagram sometimes, where she'll be like, hey, look at me, I kept the championship tonight, and I am like the Bliss Fit or whatever. Like she'll do stuff like that. So
yeah,
if you can't do both at the same time.
You know what I love though is Dean Ambrose.
I love
Total
Alexa
Divas. Dean Ambrose on Total Divas is the exact same character that he is on the show.
Yeah, and I don't even think he's a character in Total Divas. I honestly think this is just how he is. Like he's just this like weird guy who just like literally does like whatever.
Renee Young's parents are coming over. He's like, "What? I'm ready."
Someone steals Renee Young's hat, and he's like, "You're drunk. Say you're drunk, and you're an idiot." I'm drunk, and I'm an idiot. Yes, you are. I love him. Like he's watching stuff like that makes me remember that he's like one of my favorites. Yeah, especially this week when he was like, "Where's his dressing room?" I can't tell. Where's his dressing room? And let's go into that. What did you think about the Miz celebration?
I loved it because, you know, I whenever it started and there was like the bear and I was laughing at the bear, and then I saw a bunch of tweets on my timeline that were like, oh, Dean's going to be the bear, isn't he? Like, we all know Dean's going to be the bear. And then they acknowledged that Dean might be the bear. Yeah. Because that's like every wrestling segment ever, right? Yeah. And then it wasn't.
La Luchadora.
Yeah. I don't know who the bear was or why the bear was out there, but yeah, whatever.
Yeah, the bear was there. I thought, is this the Adam Rose bear? I don't think it was.
That was the bunny.
Oh yeah, they're not the same.
And the bunny, remember the bunny humped him?
I remember the bunny. The bunny had a wrestling match.
The bunny did have a wrestling match.
That is embarrassing. Who was the
that
bunny?
Was the bunny was Sami Zayn.
Really?
I think it was Sami Zayn or Justin Gabriel. It was like on and off.
Braun Strowman was one of the rosebuds. That's kind of funny.
So was James Ellsworth.
Oh boy,
James Ellsworth was a cheeseburger.
Rosebuds were kind of fun. Let's be honest.
Yeah,
I thought they were kind of fun. Also, his theme was fun. Whoa,
did I ever tell you about my my fantasy booking for Adam Rose, where like he was getting really boring, and this is like when he was on his winning streak, and before he like got destroyed, it's like, he would fall back and like, usually his Rosebud catch him and then throw him back up. But like this time they just don't catch him and they just look at him and they all leave. And then he's like, Adam Rose is like, well, why'd you guys leave? And then he becomes like a dark character.
Oh, that interesting. Well, yeah. Well, I think that's better than him leaving the company.
Yeah, he got chokeslammed by Kane, I think, and that was his first loss, and I don't think he ever won ever again. So,
and he did a lot of drugs and apparently beat his wife. And bye bye.
All right, see ya. But
all right, see ya. We don't need you.
This was a good segment. I enjoyed the segment.
I thought it was a good segment. Dean Ambrose being the camera guy, I was like looking away for a second, and then I'm like, wait, there's Dean Ambrose. And then he did the dirty deeds, and like the way he did it was like just so perfect. He was like, hey, yeah, nice. And the crowd like buzzed for it.
And then Maurice got mad at Miz because he smashed the grandfather clock.
It was to show that you were timeless.
I love how he did like elbow drops and stuff too.
I know, he like speared it. It was great.
And then he hit it with a chair. It was funny.
Yeah.
It was just funny.
It was funny. Miz always like has these great segments. I remember the Miz participation award. That was great.
Oh, that was hey, you tried.
Yeah, I want to see Dean go into a different feud after this because I don't know where this is going to lead, but I don't think it's to Dean getting the IC championship again. I really want to see where this goes.
I would like to see Dean turn heel.
I wouldn't mind it. Him being kind of kooky still a little bit, but being a heel.
I think it's just there's not much for like I like Dean the way he is right now. Don't get me wrong, but I just don't think there's that much left for him like the way he is.
I love the kook. I love the kook. Dean is so good at the kook. So we'll have to see how it goes.
He could still retain most of it. Like, he is a kooky guy himself, so it's going to come out. But I think that we haven't even seen heel Ambrose yet. So I think there's potential.
Was the Shield heels?
Oh yeah. But
okay.
I'm talking like singles, like lunatic fringe kind of.
Gotcha. Well, if you're a lunatic, why would you be a good guy? Anyways.
That's true.
That is very true. Especially JBL was really mad when he became world champion. We have a lunatic as our world champion.
Oh, God.
He's crazy. This is so embarrassing.
So, Seth Rollins, Samoa Joe, you want to talk about that?
Yeah, it was really good. I don't really know what else to say. It was really good. A lot of
had the right
Samoa
ending.
Joe had a lot of offense.
Yeah, Bray Wyatt, I guess, interference, and we're going to go Seth Rollins, Bray Wyatt feud. I'm actually really, really excited about that.
Yeah, that'd be good. They only had their first match pretty recently. So if neither of these guys are going to win the title for a while, have them have a feud, and obviously Seth Rollins is going to go up on top.
Blow it off on SummerSlam. Why don't you? Have a big match. I think that'd be a lot of fun.
I don't think their feud could last over 2 months, but we'll just have to see.
I think it has potential. They're both really good. And, we haven't seen Seth Rollins feud with Bray Wyatt yet. It's a fresh feud.
Yeah.
So,
but they teased Bray and Finn, so I don't know why they didn't go for that. But whatever.
I would rather see Bray and Finn, honestly, because of the demon. But they might be saving that. They might be saving that for like a big show like SummerSlam or WrestleMania or something.
Yeah, they have different gimmicks, so I don't know why they wouldn't. They have like gimmicks that kind of coincide, so I don't know why they wouldn't try it out. But whatever. So that was Raw this week. It was good. It wasn't terrible. It wasn't terrible.
It was pretty decent.
I forgot Mickie James and Dana Brooke existed, by the way.
Oh yeah.
I literally forgot both of them existed. They haven't done anything.
The legend Mickie James is on the same level as Dana Brooke.
Yeah, Mickie James has won a lot of women's titles before, and they don't do anything with her. They could use her to elevate current talent. That's the way you're supposed to use, returning veterans. But no,
she should be facing Alexa right now.
Yeah, it was exciting when she came back. So let's just see how it goes. I guess the women's roster on Raw is not very good right now.
No, it's in trouble.
Yeah, it is very in trouble. Charlotte leaving maybe wasn't a great idea.
Yeah, but you know what? Let's get on SmackDown because SmackDown's women's division, I think, is doing very well.
Yeah, Lana debuts this week. Uh-oh.
Lana wants to be added. This kind of irks me, not going to lie. This kind of irks me. I don't like when they do this. Lana demanded to be added to the Money in the Bank ladder match. Shane said no. She demanded a women's title match. They said no. she interferes in this tag match and causes Naomi to lose. So Naomi goes to Shane. It's like, I want a match with Lana at Money in the Bank. I'll put my title on the line. And then Shane's like, all right. And so now we have any other woman, so many other women on the roster have been like, oh, I'll face you for the title, Naomi. And Naomi's been like, you got to earn it. But now this happens, and she's like, oh, yeah, you can just have a match.
You made me mad, so I want to have a match with you. Yeah, this is really dumb if you look at the bigger picture, because there are going to be 5 women at Money in the Bank coming to blows, destroying each other. Do you know why they're going to be destroying each other?
Money in the Bank.
They're going to destroy each other just to have a chance to have the Money in the Bank, which is, by the way, just a number 1 contender match whenever you want. Lana comes and then gets that just by saying something. So all the other women, they have to fight each other and have a match and gruel and barely win. Someone comes out. The other person just says something and they get exactly what the other person gets, except it's not whenever they want.
Yeah, it kind of irks me a little bit.
Also, I know this match won't be longer than 8 minutes. Also, Naomi as champ is really bad. So, do I want Lana being champion? Probably not. I think what's going to happen is Naomi wins, and then whoever won Money in the Bank earlier in the night is going to cash in that night.
You think it'll be that soon?
I think that's why they're having this match, because why else would they have Lana versus Naomi? Why?
Just give Lana something to do. Maybe Lana wins. Maybe she pulls a Jinder.
Oh man, maybe not. Maybe Rusev comes back and they have world champion Rusev with women's champion Lana.
Maybe Rusev helps her win.
Yeah, who knows? I would like that, but I need Rusev because Rusev was supposed to be back weeks ago and he's still not here.
The briefcase is white, by the way. It's not pink.
Yeah,
it's not a hot pink.
Oh man, should have had a butterfly on it.
Yeah,
it is weird that
it looks nice.
I wish the men's one was gold, because
is it
when
blue?
It's blue, it's blue, which makes sense, but it only makes sense when there's a red as well. But there's not a red, so why isn't it just gold?
Yeah, maybe actually, I was thinking about this. Maybe Money in the Bank is going to be like a bi-yearly thing for a brand, so maybe Raw will get it next year.
Maybe we'll just have to see. This is my favorite saying, but
you know what?
Either way, I'm excited for the women's Money in the Bank match. You get 2 Money in the Bank matches. We've never had that before. So
the women's one should have been a purse.
Oh, yeah, it should have been a purse.
And the money in the purse.
I'm going to call WWE and tell them that it needs to be a purse, because that is where women belong. They should only be holding purses.
Exactly.
That is something I adamantly believe. That is something I adamantly believe. The purse, the wallet in the purse match,
and they should be on.
That's what the pay per view should be called too.
I don't know. Money in the purse
for the men. For the men, it should be the
money in the satchel. Money in the satchel.
Ooh, I was gonna say something like the power in the men match. I'm totally kidding.
The respecting women match.
Women match.
How you doing? Respect women.
Only because it was the segment I remembered most recently. I know it was the main event, but what do you think about Shinsuke having his 3rd pinfall victory over Kevin Owens?
Third? Oh, it was
it was the first singles one, but this is the 3rd time he's pinned him.
Oh, I thought it was the 2nd because of the tag match. Wait, what happened last week?
There were 2 tag matches, and he pinned him.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. I thought it was a little bit too much. Kevin should have won one of those.
Yeah, Shinsuke is definitely a very high, he's being positioned very high up on the card, so I don't really mind it that much. Also Kevin has the United States Championship. He has something to fall back on, and he's going to be fine.
But I feel as a good heel, he should have come out of one of those matches making Shinsuke look bad, because then there's a feud. But right now, it's just so one-sided.
That is true. I don't know. I don't see it as a big problem yet.
Yeah.
If they do it again, maybe I'll agree with you, but I don't see it as a big problem right now.
2 of them were tag matches, so don't entirely count. But there are 3 different times. There are 3 clips I can show you where Shinsuke lands a Kinshasa on Kevin Owens and pins him, and that's like 3 in 3 weeks. That is kind of wow.
Yeah. Maybe Kevin Owens wins Money in the Bank. Who knows?
Oh, I would love if Sami Zayn, Shinsuke. Honestly, whoever wins, I'm going to be excited. Maybe not Baron, but either way, it's going to be an exciting match. And Money in the Bank always makes things more interesting. We haven't seen an active Mr. Money in the Bank since Seth Rollins, really, because Dean Ambrose cashed in the same night. So I hope whoever wins this.
Oh, and Sheamus. Sheamus is just stupid.
Oh, yeah. I hope whoever wins this, like, just. I forgot Sheamus won. I literally forgot he won.
I had to think about it for a second.
But I hope whoever wins this, like, holds it for a little bit. We have, like, because then are things are more intense. Like, it can happen at any moment.
Even if Baron wins, I'll be like, all right, how are they gonna pull this off? I'm curious. Like, I want to see him come out and be like, I am Mr. Money in the Bank, and you know what? Whoever's the champ right now should just come down and give it to me right now, because I'll tell you what.
Just hand it over.
I will take it from you if you challenge me.
Just hand it over right now, because I'm gonna cash in and beat you in Deep Six. Deep Six, end of days.
Yeah.
But he was somehow better on commentary than he is in promos. I think that is something very interesting.
I think it might be the scripted promos. It might be.
Yeah, WWE shouldn't script promos. There should be in my opinion, there should just be certain points that they're supposed to hit, and that's it. Maybe not word for word certain like buzzwords that they like to throw down and things that they need them to say specifically. How about just the general point you get across, and you have the confidence in this person to do it themselves, because then things sound forced, and then you have Baron Corbin. God, he's so bad at talking. But apparently he was better on commentary, where he's able to just go on his own.
SmackDown is the land of opportunity.
Yeah, so why don't you give the people the opportunity to speak for themselves?
Keep saying it. That's actually kind of funny, because like they have everyone say the land of opportunity every 5 seconds, and meanwhile they don't give the opportunity for people to speak for themselves.
Yeah, Baron Corbin sounds programmed, like so programmed.
You know what's funny?
Yes.
Since he's won the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal Trophy, Mojo Rawley has literally just gone around and like shown it to people and been like, "Hey, look at this! I won that! Isn't that cool?" And like he hasn't done anything since. And then he acknowledged it today, and then he didn't win. So I'm guessing he's just going to go back to showing people, right?
Yeah, Baron. It's more than Baron did, but
I mean, is it?
Hey, Mojo Rawley used it to have an opportunity to be in a number 1 contenders match, basically.
Yeah, but
it was a number 1 contenders match for a number 1 contenders match.
Yeah, but even then, he's like, "Hey guys, isn't it cool how I won this thing?"
Yeah.
Huh?
Mojo Rawley, I don't think there is. I don't think there is a shiny, there's no like where for him to go. In my opinion, like there's no like road to the top for him. I think it is just I think it's a U-turn. I think it's a cul-de-sac. You just kind of stay where you are. You spin around a little bit until you go back and you're gone.
Bring the Hype Bros back, because that was where he was best.
Oh, well, Zack Ryder's... Wait, no. Never mind. Zack Ryder's SmackDown. I don't think they should do the Hype Bros again, because I want Zack Ryder to have a singles run.
Well, then give him a new tag team partner.
Yeah, I think Zack Ryder could actually do a lot singles. Like, I'm actually really excited for him to come back. I think Zack Ryder is like as far as midcard goes, a big deal in my opinion. I think PJ agrees. He's exciting. I want to like Zack Ryder is like a bona fide face. Like, he's a guy I want to root for like badly for him to win.
You know who else is a good face who I want to see win? Ty Dillinger.
Oh yeah, he's not on TV.
Why? He's the new American Alpha, which are also not on TV.
Yeah, maybe it's just because SmackDown's only 2 hours. Like,
SmackDown makes me upset sometimes because American Alpha's not on TV and Ty Dillinger's not on TV, and I like those guys and they're talented and I want to see them more, and they just won't give it to me.
Yeah, SmackDown actually has a really good roster, but you wouldn't know it because they don't really show it.
Hey, that rhymed.
Yeah, I didn't mean to say that, but you wouldn't know it. They don't show the people they have, and they don't really. Yeah, I want to see both. I want to see all three of those people doing stuff on the main roster because I love all three of them. They're very exciting to watch. But I guess we're gonna just have to see their ascent back to the top because I think both of them will get there. I mean, Ty's only gonna be in the mid card, and American Alpha. They better get the. I want to see them feud with New Day for the titles because to get into it, New Day and the Usos, they're gonna be feuding for the titles, and I'm interested in this feud. It'll be fun. I hope it ends with New Day getting it back.
Yeah. But anyways, we got into that. We got Mojo Rawley and Jinder Mahal. My dad was watching this with me. My dad's like, that guy's probably not even Indian. And I'm like, yeah, he's Canadian. He's like, I know it.
How do you know?
I don't know. That's just how that's just what he thinks of like wrestling and all that. He's like, like we're watching Finn, and he's like, that guy's probably not even Irish. And I'm like, he's definitely Irish.
Yeah, he's definitely Irish.
And he's just pretty much after that for like the next 10 minutes, he just kept saying like, oh, the Maharaja.
Hey, Becky's Scottish, so.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I watched the entire highlights for SmackDown. I don't remember this match.
Basically.
Oh, I watched it while I was showering. That's why.
Basically, Jinder put his thing.
He did.
Mojo won. If Mojo won, he would be in the Money in the Bank ladder match. It didn't happen. Jinder wins, and then talks to Randy Orton. He's like, Randy Orton, you're not the Maharaja. I'm the Maharaja. And then Randy.
Jinder won clean, right? Jinder won clean.
Sort of.
I want Jinder to have some clean victories under him because I actually want him to be at least to an extent a believable champion.
I think it was. There was one point in the match where like one of the little Gingers just jumped up on the apron and then like
you keep calling them little Gingers. I love it.
And it was pretty clean though. It was pretty clean.
Yeah. I would like to see more clean victories. He'll be more believable as a champion. Maybe not, against top level guys. That's where heels get their heel wins. But I want him to be believable. I want him to have like a world championship where he is like the Maharaja and he beats people. And I wouldn't mind seeing it. He's like a big beefy dude. Of course he's going to beat some people up. And Mojo Rawley, you knew who was going to win this match. So and that's so interesting because a few months ago it was these guys were both jobbers, and it's just like, who cares?
Yeah, hey, one of them has a trophy that he looks at.
Yeah, my trophy is really cool. I have a really famous friend, and it gives us views.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Hey, his famous friend's awesome. I love him.
Oh, he was at he's at the White House, and he was like poked his head into the
yeah. He was at a wedding and he caught a bouquet from somebody. Like they were throwing it from one person. He intercepted it and like spiked it on the ground and went everywhere. And he was like, "Yeah!" And I'm like, he literally just acts like that in real life. Like he if he was a wrestler, he could be a Mojo and they could be the Hype Bros and it'd be awesome. Because
I don't know if I would want to know him in real life, but hey,
he might be pretty annoying, maybe.
Oh yeah.
But he's a personality. Let's just say this: he's a patriot, and I like him, and I hate the Patriots.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone hates the Patriots.
Most Pittsburghers do.
Yeah, well, most people in the nation do. They're the most hated team in the NFL.
Yeah, ever since Deflategate, that really helped too.
Oh yeah, well, they actually had a lot of different controversies since before then. But this is a wrestling podcast. So AJ Styles versus Dolph. AJ gets his win back, which really meant that last week they literally just had AJ lose because he was a face in his hometown. That's literally all it meant. It says he got his win back to make him redeem it. So it's like it didn't even matter.
Yeah. Still a good match though, and cool. There was a cool Styles clash to end it. So
yeah, I think it's one of those words people don't like it to being used because it's a little bit annoying. It's a little bit easy to say, but 50-50 booking. You know what they say.
Yeah, not a huge fan of it, but what are you gonna do?
They have Dolph win. They have AJ win. No one looks good after it. Why do I feel like this happened on Raw? Yeah, it happened with Apollo Crews. But who cares?
Yeah. So what else is there on SmackDown to talk about?
I don't know. Dolph and AJ had a good match, but I don't think there's really anything to take back from it as far as feuds go. It was 50-50. He won. He got his win back. We'll see what AJ is doing. Is he still feuding with Kevin Owens? I really have no idea. They're just everyone's just kind of fooling around until Money in the Bank.
Yeah, when Money in the Bank happens, everyone's feuds kind of get put on hold until after. Like that happened last year too with Kevin and Sammy.
Yeah, there's only one more show, so Yeah, I think they'll be fine. They could just have like one big, like, moment between everybody and to be like, hey, let's do this. By the way, I really hope the Money in the Bank match main events.
Oh, I think it will.
I would really hope it did because I don't know. I'm not that interested in a Jinder versus Randy rematch. All I won't know is that I really would like Jinder to win.
I am looking forward to it. I'm curious to see if since Jinder is the champ now, I'm curious to see if he beats Randy clean.
Yeah, I was actually thinking that too. Like, wouldn't that be something? And that is actually something I kind of want to see.
How do you step up from Backlash? Like, what happened to do you just replay Backlash? Like, no, that'd be stupid. You could set up another feud for Jinder or Randy. You can maybe set up another feud for Randy because, he's the face and Jinder would be the one that walks away with the win. But you usually don't see that with heel or, I don't know. I don't.
Jinder kicks out of the RKO and then does his finisher and wins the match. What if that happened?
I could see like Rusev interfering and being like, Randy, you took my title shot. I said I wanted a match of Money in the Bank, not you.
Oh,
I could see that.
Rusev needs to debut here. That would be great.
Yeah, but
that's the only way I can see it main eventing because they end with Rusev like,
yeah,
I'm Rusev.
I could see Jinder winning clean. I think that's like the one thing that they do without Rusev, where they could sort of step it up from the last pay-per-view.
By the way, is Rusev going to be by himself without Lana because Lana's a wrestler? I
guess so. Yeah, I think they might be like reunited eventually, though.
We'll see. She has a different gimmick, definitely. She's not the Russian anymore. She still talks Russian, but she's
different. She's different.
She's a hot girl who wears a dress.
Mm-hmm.
That was wrestling this week, everybody. Ooh. There was a lot of wrestling. It was Extreme Rules. It was Raw. It was SmackDown. It wasn't 205 Live. We didn't watch that.
Yeah, Neville beat TJP, and there was a bunch of cool false finishes at the end of it. I watched it.
That's good.
That's it.
I don't really think there's much else to say about this week. Next week will be the go home cast for Money in the Bank because we're getting pay-per-views bi-weekly. In this current stretch, it was Payback. Actually, no, it was Backlash, and then 2 weeks later Extreme Rules, and then 2 weeks later Money in the Bank. So 3 pay-per-views in 6 weeks. Kind of crazy, but whatever.
Yeah.
Actually, it'd be 4 weeks.
Whatever, dude.
Not 6 weeks, 4 weeks.
Whatever, dude.
So 3 pay-per-views in 4 weeks, kind of crazy. But that's what they wanted to do.
Whoop-de-doo. All right, that's the show.
The Show and Job Show. We thank everybody for watching this week. It was a little bit of a longer one. We just had a lot to talk about, and we hope you guys just enjoy us kind of rambling. We're going to try to make it less rambly next week because I actually noticed there might have been some more ramble than usual this week.
It was rambling about wrestling, though. It wasn't rambling about anything else. You know?
It also made it a little bit longer because we reviewed the show within this one, which we're going to apparently try to make consistent with reactions mixed with reviews in the show.
Sort of do 2 things.
Yeah, so we'll see how it goes. Everyone in the comments, tell us what you think about that. We will definitely be hearing what you say because that is what good content creators do.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Well, we will see you next week. Not literally. You may see us. We might be doing a Joe and Shob vlog. I don't think Joe wants to do it, but I kind of want to. But we'll see. We're going places. We might do things. Maybe we'll be interested in seeing it. I'm thinking maybe this is my idea. I haven't told Joe about it at all, but I'm like, Joe and I are hanging out this summer. Why don't we chronicle some of our adventures? So we'll see how that goes. See you later.
Too many games.
There are so many games. We're going to an arcade museum. Maybe we show off the arcade museum. Like we show us playing some games. I know they have a wrestling game there. We could show that off. We'll see. We'll see you guys later. That was another Joe and Shob show. Joe lost predictions. I have no idea how I'm going to punish him. Also, I'm prolonging this because Joe really has to go to the bathroom. Good night, everybody.